in this video you're going to learn git commands. So these are the four common commands we are using now these days to save our data, to push code in our repository, which is Git, GitLab and GitHub, right? So the very first command is git init. It's create a new repository, right? And .git directory added to the folder. That's a hidden folder actually, and it's containing the all history of the git of your repository of your project. So that's the thing. Git init, very useful and very commonly used command. So to run this command, we are just opening terminal and write git init. The second command is git clone. So for that we have to just copy the repository link from where we want to copy, then just type the command git clone and that particular URL. Just see the command line here, git clone git repo URL, this one. So that's the URL of your repository that you want to take clone from. So that URL is you can take from your branch as well. So you have to create a branch first. For that you have to you should have an account in GitLab or GitHub, right? So for that you have to use git init first, then git init always generate a .git directory. After that, if you want to take clone in your repository, so from your repository, then you have to copy the URL from the GitLab and you just use git clone and that URL, paste the URL, then it will just clone all the files and folders from your repository. That's called git clone command. Create a local copy of a remote repository. So it will create a local copy of the repository of your repository, right? And you can read the whole thing as well here. Git add. Generally in Visual Studio Code we use plus button, but if you don't want to use Visual Studio Code and you want to do from yourself by using command, so you can use git add that file 1, file 2, etc. So this command add your changes to a staging area where you can compare your local version with remote repo code. It is mandatory to stage the code before commit using git add command. So yeah, it's mandatory actually to before commit your before use the commit command git commit, you have to add your files in the repository. So it's mandatory to stage the code. So your code will be staged by using git add command, right? So the stage all file use, also to stage all file use dot git add dot. So the command is, if you are not clear, you can see git add dot. You have to use this file, this command git add dot. So your all file will added to the on staging. So on stage, and you can commit that all file, right? So git commit, after the add command you have to use git commit command to save the, to commit the code or to save the code. So it's not means that your code is pushed in the repository, you have to push it later, but for the particular time being, so it will save the code. Means if you shut down your computer or your data will be lost from your device, then your code will be not lost it. If you used git commit command, your code will be saved in the repository somehow, and it will not pushed, but you can push it by check out in that branch from anywhere, right? So git commit is a very important command. This command saves your changes to your local repository. Every time you commit, you have to add a small message. So with the commit command, you have to use a message hyphen m to add a message. So the command is git commit hyphen message. Message means m, so git commit hyphen m and your message in the double quotes. So suppose that you have done a functionality like send OTP. So you have to write git commit hyphen message send OTP functionality done, like that. This is the message. So this is a very important useful command. Then after the um, very first git command, git commit command, we have to push the code which is already saved in the repository. We have to push the code in the repository. So for that we are using git push command. Git push command push your changes from local repository to remote repository. So git commit command saves the all changes in the local repository, but when you want to push the command push the codes in your branch, so it will save from local to remote repository. So it will save permanently in the remote repository. The difference you can get, right? Git commit and git push. Git commit always save the data, save your data in local repository, but git push save your data in remote repository. One can only push the commit changes. Okay. Yeah, it also create the repository, right, with the branch name you enter if repository does not exist on the remote location. If the remote location doesn't contain that a particular branch, it will create first and then it will push your code. So git push is the commonly used code command that we are using to push our code. So git push remote branch name. So as example we write commonly git pull origin, git push origin, that's called remote. Okay, git pull origin and the branch name like Jayant. So git pull origin Jayant. If you want to take a pull, then you can use git pull origin Jayant. So same is this is a push command and this is pull command. So this is the same as push, but it takes the all codes from server, like repository, like remote repository. It will clone, it will pull all the codes. Suppose that you don't have codes, updated code in your local repository, so it will pull down the all codes which is in server, which is in remote repository, so it will come to your local system, so local repository. So this helps when multiple people working on the same repository. So git pull is always used when multiple people working in the same directory. If you are working professional, you know the thing that when we multiple people work in the same directory, then git pull git push is the very important command. But for a beginner, these are the things you should know. So git pull origin, the branch name Jayant. Suppose that the branch name is Jayant, so git pull origin Jayant. This is the command we are using with the git pull. And very important, another very important command is git checkout. We generally use git checkout hyphen b and the branch name, or the b you can omit, you can skip the hyphen b. So I am using git checkout the branch name direct Jayant. If my branch name is Jayant, so git checkout Jayant. Okay, so it will check out to my branch, or all else you can use hyphen b. So the common this is very common to switch to an existing branch or create a new branch. So if the branch is not there, then it will create the branch. Otherwise, if you already created a branch, so you can check out from your master branch, from your main branch, or from any other branch. You can check out your a particular branch. So first you have to create the branch, or otherwise it will automatically create the branch for you. But you have to check out. So git checkout hyphen b branch. So git checkout, there is some rules to before using git checkout command, because you have to save all the data before checkout, otherwise it can be lost, right? So for that you have to save your data first before checkout to any branch. Okay, so this is the reference doc, and I think these are the things you should know about the git commands, right? So thank you guys, thank you.